Hi guys, so in today's video I'm going to show how I painted up this Warhammer 40k Orc miniature, old Gazkull Mag Urek Fracker, I believe that's how he's said, uh, maybe not, and how I painted it in a nice rusty, well yeah, he's a rust bucket basically. Look at the state of this thing, he's definitely seen better days. But yes, I'm going to show you how I painted him, how I based him, and those eagle-eyed people may have noticed that he doesn't have his normal head, and that's because as well I did a little kit bash in there as well. So we all know Warhammer 40k can be an expensive hobby, especially if you're just getting into it. But it doesn't need to be because you can buy obviously second-hand miniatures, and that's what this dude is. This was a second-hand miniature, so it was sent to me already pre-assembled and primed in black, as you can see here. Obviously, it cost a fraction of the price if it was brand new. So this is from Warmodels. I will leave a link down below. So it's a good old family-run independent hobby retailer who are building a hobby community rather than just being a shop. As I say, they do buy and sell, obviously, Warhammer stuff and a whole variety of other sort of miniatures. So definitely go and give them a click. As a lot of the miniatures are 50% off what they would normally cost, which is obviously say a great way of getting into this. They also do a whole range of the hobby tools, paints, and everything you need to sort of get into this hobby, really. So yeah, check out the links down below, guys. And obviously, the other great thing about buying some secondhand, you don't mind cutting it up, kit bashing it, which is exactly obviously what I'm doing with this Gaz. As soon as I saw him, I thought, yeah, I don't want his head there. I want someone driving this machine like it's a big old robot. And the first thing I wanted to do was take him off the base because obviously I wanted to reposition him a little bit and well make the base my own sort of base. The good thing is you can get this debonder, which basically loosens up the glue that has been used, and then you can obviously just pull things apart. It's pretty quick. I only got to leave it for I don't know about 20 seconds. It sort of seeps into nooks, crannies, and all that kind of thing. Just loosens up the glue, and then you can get it out. Obviously, some bits it's easier when I just had to slide my little scalpel between the bits to get them off. And other bits, yeah, you have to do a bit of brute force because obviously, who knows how long ago this was sort of glued together. So in the whole, most of it came off fine. A few bits obviously didn't, but that's okay because this kind of plastic is relatively soft, so we can just get some clippers and cut off any bits that well we don't want. And I say I haven't done kit bashing for quite some time. I know with this channel, guys, I do a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of all sorts, which is why I know some of you guys watch certain videos and some of you watch, well, other videos. But that's the whole thing. This channel, it is about a big fun hobby and me doing a whole variety of different things. I think if I did the same thing day in, day out, yeah, there's no way this channel would have lasted 5.5 years because I would have just got so bored. So yeah, apologies because I know that obviously some people watch some videos for well D&D, some for pillage, kill teams, or whatever it might be. But those of you who stick around and watch all my videos, yeah, definitely much appreciated. As I say, I'm just a guy sitting at a desk in the corner of his living room, messing about, having fun, and obviously being a big kid. I say for me, kit bashing is definitely a fun thing because obviously you're taking something and then just completely changing it into well whatever it is you want to do. So say as soon as I saw this miniature, I just knew I wanted to take his face off, cut out that sort of central bit, and make it like a little command center. So little chap can be sort of sitting there driving this guy. I guess it kind of reminds me of is it the Men in Black? There's that little creature that's in the face of someone, and they're driving him. So I do have a few sort of boxes where I did kind of buy. I mean, I bought this one. Oh, I think I've had this in my pile of opportunity for about the last 3 years because I bought it with the intentions of doing some kit bashing, making something, but then obviously you went on to do something else. That was me just showing my fingers and obviously apologising for the state my hands get in. Obviously, like I say, I work on about 3 or 4 projects at once just because, well, variety is the spice of life and all that. So my hands typically do look messy, but not necessarily messy with whatever project I'm currently working on. So yeah, that was me just apologising for the state of my fingers. So it's just a case of building up, gluing bits on, and I say just making it however you want it to look. But I put some magnets on because, well, I want to have a door that goes over the front of this, so you can literally just see the little, is it Gretchin, isn't it? To see his head poking through. But obviously, I want the door to be able to come off so I can obviously paint in inside. And obviously we can have the door off just to sort of show, yeah, there's a little chap in there. So basing, I'm getting more into basins because this is something I never really used to do much of, bases, because most of my figures I put on clear bases because I used to like seeing, well, whatever terrain was underneath. But I really am getting into more and more basing. And this simply is the old sort of bark from a tree. Obviously, I didn't go and destroy a tree or make a tree naked. You do just buy this stuff, well, from someone else, really. So something I've been using a lot of as well is this Super Glue Activator. We've been having some crazy warm days every now and then in the UK. And I don't know if that makes the glue not dry as quick, or it just makes me more impatient. Either way, yeah, usually Glue Activator, because it really does, well, it lives up to its name. As soon as this stuff comes in contact with glue, it instantly dries, which is just perfect. So basing, yeah, basically PVA glue, and then I've got the little bits of miniature cork, and then some very fine sand. And this has kind of been my go-to for, well, definitely the last month. Again, this is where I get hooked on something. I do it lots and lots, and then I'll probably burn out on it and think, yeah, I'm bored of that now, and then try something different. So at the moment, all my bases are going to be looking like this. It's kind of like the sort of terrain from, I don't know, a Mad Max kind of scene. So it's out in the Rockies or the desert plains, lots of sand and that sort of stuff. So painting wise, I knew I was going to turn this into a rust bucket. So I didn't want to go too mad painting it lots of vibrant colors because I knew they basically wouldn't be vibrant at the end. So keeping it very simple. His gun's going to get painted black. And then as he's an orc, I'm going to paint the rest of it sort of silver. Well, one thing I didn't show you there, which I thought I took footage of, obviously when I primed this miniature, I primed it in silver. So what I'm doing now is obviously I've got a whole variety of different color primers from the Colourforge. And yeah, so if I've got a miniature and it's primarily a certain color, actually a large miniature, then I'm going to prime it in that color. So that's why he was primed in silver, but then obviously the base was coated with a white primer, just a painted one. And so was the miniature, because obviously I don't want him looking silver. And the reason I went for silver is so when I do put obviously the paints over it, like this Orc Green, well, this is the only time I've actually used Orc Green, because I think the Orc Green, it looks great if you're painting something to look like the Hulk, but I don't use this Hulk Green for any of my, sorry, this Orc Green. I don't use it for any of my miniatures or my orcs, just because I don't like it. It just say it's too green. But yeah, so that's why I did all the priming in silver, because then this silver still comes through a little bit, and then makes it look like it's a metallic green. So yeah, you can get any color metallic just by simply priming whatever miniature it is, or painting the miniature in a silver, and then using the speed paints over the top. They will sort of show some of that silver metallic color from underneath. So say not too many colors in this chap at all. Say because I knew I was going to make him a rust bucket. So I didn't want to do any browns or anything because obviously the rust is going to be brown. And then simply painting the base again. So this is going to have some pigments on it, so stick around for that. And yeah, that's why I'm just making it a yellowish base. A few little transfers I'm going to stick on him just because obviously there's no way I can paint these squares looking as nice and neat as this. So transfers for the win there. Seal on the door, and yeah, that's done. So rust, you can spend hours and hours and hours doing this, or you can cheat like me and use a bit of green stuff called yellow oxide. There's a whole variety of other sort of kind of rusts and moss and soot and other things from Green Stuff World. Again, links down below, guys. So everything I use in the videos, always links down below. Go check them out. I've used these before in a comparison video. I'll try and leave a link for that somewhere so you can see exactly how these all look. But say these are, for me, they're magic in a bottle, because it is a case of painting it all on. And you can see this is where, trust the process, guys. You put loads of this on, because this stuff is great because it reactivates when wet. So literally put tons on, and then you wipe off the areas you don't want. So you paint the whole thing up and then leave it. I think I'll leave it for about half an hour. So it's not too long. But again, this is why I like working on several projects at once, because when I do this, I then go and do a different project. So yeah, I've literally always got about 3 or 4 on the go. That being said, at the moment, I think I've gone a bit OTT. I think I've got around about nine projects on the go. Pretty much all orcs. Yeah, I've gone nuts for orcs, especially with obviously Warhammer 11th edition coming out soon. because I am finally starting my own Warhammer 40k Orc army. I've started painting some miniatures just so I can see what kind of look and style I want. So here he is. So this is 30 minutes later. It's all dried. Obviously, this is too much for a rust bucket. I've got my gloves on because so this bit does get messy. It can get extremely messy because obviously you're now wiping off the stuff, which then obviously say reactivates it, so it gets it nice and wet. And this is where obviously your fingers will look like they've been dipped in, well, weird yellow ink. But this is great. This is where, depending on how rusty you want this to look, you can wipe a few bits off, leave it, say for another half hour, it'll dry. Then you can have another look at it to see if you need to take more off. So this stuff will just keep reactivating. So I do paint these miniatures with a clear varnish, just so it doesn't then reactivate, because obviously if you've got wet hands, this will just keep coming off. So there he is. Again, for me, this is just so simple, so easy. I know this, again, this isn't going to win any awards. This is just tabletop standard, but this is what I like. And the fact that it is so simple, so easy, paint it on, wipe it off, jobs are good. And yeah, he's a nice rust bucket. So basing, yeah, you'd have seen me do this quite a lot in the recent videos. I have just got a load more basing materials from Green Stuff World. I will be doing a video on, well, how to do a whole variety of different looking bases. Yes, I'm looking forward to that because, again, I love how these bases look, but it'd be nice to have a bit of a variety in the mix, or just been knowing I can do different other sort of looking bases for different kind of races. So for the Orcs, this is how my bases are all going to look, as I love it, especially because I can obviously tie in their feet to make it look like they've been walking in this dusty area. And there we go. So I absolutely love this. Quick, simple, didn't take too long at all. Great result. So guys, check out Warmodels, link down below for buying Warhammer miniatures and other miniatures. And I say the fact you can get second-hand miniatures for almost or around half the price they'd cost normally. So if you're just getting into this this hobby, it's a great way of getting a little army going at a fraction of the cost. So yeah, check out their links, and obviously check out the links to Green Stuff World for, well, this awesome stuff that can turn anything into an absolute rust bucket, as well as obviously looking out for their other sort of range of paints and bits and pieces. So yeah, loving how he looks. Don't forget, guys, a lot of these stuff that I am painting in my videos will be going on my eBay page, just to help fund me getting more and more bits and pieces, especially as I am now going to be making up my first ever Warhammer 40k full army. Obviously, it's going to be Orcs. There's no real surprise there. So definitely with the Warhammer 40k 11th edition coming out, I've seen some lovely looking Orcs on that box. So as soon as I get that box, which is next weekend, which I can't wait for, yeah, I am going to be getting loads and loads of things painted up, and you'll be able to see the see how my army's going to look. I know I can't wait to show you, yeah, what I've got planned up. And don't forget to click on the link that you're going to see any second, guys, showing the video where I've used these other green stuff sort of paint effects, as yeah, they really are a nice, easy way of, well, enhancing the images. Okay, guys, big shout out and thank you to all the lovely patrons that are coming up on the side of the screen, helping sponsor the channel, as yeah, it's with their help I can keep continuing to do this full time. Okay, guys, like, share, subscribe, leave comments, all that good stuff. Bye.